All right. Good evening, everybody. This is Mike with Alpha Shark and SmartMoptionTrading.com. It's Thursday, the 16th of October, and we're doing a special webinar tonight. And tonight, guys, this is a sit-down webinar. I have another one next Thursday. Maybe we'll try to do some teaching on that one. You'll be learning a lot here. But tonight, I really wanted to go over the markets and how I'm viewing it and what I'm seeing. And I hope that sounds good to you, because a lot of times people don't do that with you, right? People come at you, but they don't try to sit down and sit there and talk to you about what they're seeing and what their rationale is here and why. And I thought maybe that might help tonight. The other thing tonight, guys, I'm going to have up here, this is from my private Twitter feed from my paid service. And we're going to use this to see anything we go over to see what's going on there. So help you reinforce what I'm seeing in the option flow and what's helping reinforce my opinions. Okay. So first off, guys, let's start off with this and say, hey, if you're here, good. If you're struggling or unsure, so is just about everybody else. So I think I start this off by saying to you guys this: the market is not sending any clear, good signals either way here. And if you're unsure, it's okay. So is just about everybody else. And I would tell you, the market's unsure here. The market's not really sure what it wants to do. And for those of us who aren't full-time in scalping to make money, who are looking to swing, it makes for an incredibly different, difficult, frustrating market. So this is a chart of the S&P 500, and I take the dividend out so it more closely resembles the SPX. This is a one-year chart. So what I want to go over here is a couple things first. This was our big correction, right? Let's take things one step at a time. In February, we had that 12.5% correction. We held the 200-day. We got a vicious bounce, right? Up to 280. Failed. Pulled back, retouched the 200-day. Bounced, retouched the 200-day, and then we put in a new all-time high as we stair-stepped higher, right? Beautiful action. Until now, where we've gone and we're playing with the 200-day here again and closed just below it again today on the SPY. What's worth noting here is the SPX and the ES closed above the 200. So, everything has to come together. What I want you to know here is this. When we tested the 200-day in this area here, right? We tested it for about 11 sessions. It didn't just hit and go, right? How many times we were playing down here for a while, right? Look at all the touches of it here. We've had 6 days now since we breached the 200-day on the SPY. What does this look more like? Here or here? Right? It's here. So you guys are out there. I'm sure you guys listen to CNBC and everything. What are some of the things people are saying out there? So let's try to go out and take some of the things that people are saying the reason for this sell-off. Come on, put them out there. Let's keep you guys awake. This is going to be interactive tonight. Always is with me. Okay. Bonds. Let's debunk bonds. Great one. Thank you. Here's how we debunk bonds. On this day here, when the market sold off viciously and bond yields came crashing down, did that mean anything to the stock market on any of these 2 days when bond yields came crashing back down? The answer is no. So throw the yields out, the 10-year yield, which everybody, CNBC and everybody keeps touting out, because that ain't doing it here, right? It might be a little bit part of the equation, but that's not it. But I appreciate you throwing it out there because it's one of the things I want to talk about tonight. All right. End of the bull market. Don't know. Yes, I appreciate that one too. We're only a pullback here. We're not even to a correction yet. We haven't gotten to a 10% correction. We got about 6.5%. Not the end of a bull market in my mind yet. Tariffs. That's a big one. Tariffs. I agree. I think tariffs and the trade war are heavily influencing this market. Cyclical correction until May, maybe nada, I don't know. Out of beer, Noel? Yeah, that's a good one. Um, Italy, maybe a little bit, but does anybody really care about Italy so much? You guys are not saying a big one. Saudi Arabia may be a part of it, but that's more. There you go, midterms. Thank you. Midterm elections, right? There's a lot of uncertainty about the outcome of what the political abilities and nature of this country is going to look like in about 3 weeks, right? I think it's 18 days from today. So that's a big part of it too. Now, is it any single one of these, or is it probably a combination of it? And the honest answer is here, guys, it doesn't, Craig, combination, yep, all the above. It doesn't really matter. Here's all you guys need to put in your head. And I want you guys to simplify things here. They do not want to buy this market here. Repeat after me. For whatever reason, one or all of the above or some combination we stated, they do not want to own this market here. Does that make sense to you guys? Anybody? Right? So throw the talking heads out. Tell them to shut up. Listen to it. I can tell you from watching the options market, we've had no big put sellers calling a bottom here. We've had no great call buying anywhere into this stretch. All the call buying, the little of it that's been, has been momentum flow designed to squeeze shorts. There's been no serious call buying into this stretch here. We had massive, call them whatever you want, massive call buying into this low, into these lows. We're not seeing it here. We're not seeing any of that here. This is telling me they do not want to own this market here for whatever reason. And until they do, we need to be careful. How do you find a low in the market, guys? How do you find a low? All right? There's a couple ways. What's the number one way you find a low in a market? How do you find a bottom? It's through what? Nope. It's through what? Not VIX low, Greg. Nice one. Okay, higher low. Volume. Volume's going down. No more sellers. I was thinking price discovery. Trend change. Price discovery, right? You don't find a low until the price hits a point where they start buying it, right? Higher highs, lower low, a higher low often. Yep. So they didn't really buy it here. This was an oversold extended bounce. I talked to you about this, guys, a couple times, and they weren't buying it today on this pullback here, and they weren't buying it here on this day here on Tuesday. This engulfing candle, this big gap up and candle. They were doing momentum flow. They were buying weekly options in specific names. There was no big call buying that day into names. All right? So pick a name or two, right? We can put them out there. I could show you that. There was nothing there, right? The best name that day was probably AMD. So again, this is off my private Twitter feed, guys. So this is very, very open with you. It was all here, all momentum type flow. It was all small stuff, momentum flow into it. Nothing massive. It was small momentum flow. That's all that we saw in this name. And that was a big name that day, right? And we know this because we can go look at it. All right? That big bounce was one of the big names that day. It was all momentum flow, all short-term weekly stuff, weekly calls, October, right? Weekly calls for the most part, right? So they don't want the market here, right? They don't want it right now. For whatever reason, they don't want to own it. So let's look at some indicators that could help us out. This is the Fear and Greed Index. You guys know I like to look at this every once in a while. The one problem with the Fear and Greed Index, it can go a lot lower. So here it is at 12. A week ago it was at 5. It's not back to there. This can hover down here for a while, but it's showing you that sentiment is in the hole, right? It's in the crapper. This is one of my favorite movies. Is Christmas Vacation, and crapper's full. It is. This is it. Crapper's full. We're full of crap here. All right. Go to some under indicators. I look at these every day. Every day I look at these. In my service, we talk about these every day. The put to call ratio. Today, look at this big bull bearish move down. What this is saying is the market is extremely bared up. And you know how we know this? I can tell you this from watching stuff like this today. There's the SPY. All right. Today, off my Twitter feed. And I don't post every little thing, guys. Nothing but mostly bearish flow. Look at this. They absolutely hammered the November 270 puts. On the close, there was almost 90,000 of these traded today. Hammered these into the ground. They were buying them left, right, and center all day until the end of the day. In the last hour, they stopped. Okay? Put the call. For me, this is a contrarian indicator, right? When the market gets too bared up, what do we tend to do? What do we do? What happens when the market gets either too bulled up, go all cash, short squeeze, right? You turn around and you beat the hell out of the people that are hitting the wrong side, right? So this is a good indicator. Likewise, what happens when the market gets too bulled up? What happens up here when the market gets too bullish? These signals. What do? We turn around and we beat them over the heads, right? You beat the bulls over the head. That's what they do. They pull them out, right? So use these as contrarian. We look at the oscillators. Okay, NYMOT, New York Oscillator. We had a beautiful signal down here. Unfortunately, they ruined it with very poor action. That said, look at today. Nice back move down to negative 117. If the banks hadn't been hanging in, this never would have bounced. But the banks are hanging in. Damn it. And then we go, to the NAMOT. Okay, on the NASDAQ. Another move down, negative 110. Okay, so we now know we have sentiment in our favor. Not as good as we had 4 days ago, but definitely in our favor, right? The put to call is the big thing. What's tomorrow, besides from Friday? What's tomorrow, guys? Come on. Who's with me? Expiry, options expiration, guys. That's exactly it. Okay? So we have a event then. What happens tonight? There's a huge event overnight tonight. Not with our country. No, you don't count. Yes, there's a football game, and I'm missing it too, so we'll keep this short. No, not Brexit. Come on, guys. There's a absolutely huge event tonight, and it's not cannabis either. Come on. Wrong part of the world. All right, Noel, spit it out. Oh, they can't see you anyway. China GDP. Thank you, Ken. Huge tonight. China GDP. Did you guys look? This is from investing.com. This is free, guys. Every morning, Scott, because what's going on right now in China has the ability. Here, look at this right now. Look at the Hang Seng right now. Look at this. It's down 2.7% after hitting a 4-year low yesterday and having tons of margin calls. What do you think is going to happen if this is bad today? You guys need to look at this because this is not going to stay isolated. A lot of business comes out of China. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. You have to pay attention to what's going on. China economy is collapsing. Their stock market is collapsing. This can have a contagion effect. You need to at least look at it. Don't have to agree with me. You need to pay attention to it. Okay? So GDP is huge tonight for the markets because if China rallies, the markets will rally. If China drops huge, the market's going to be in trouble. And right now, China's down huge, but our markets aren't going to take notice of it yet until GDP is out. I might too, but not like Monday, my friend. All right. So again, you should look at this, see what the world markets are doing, pay attention to it. All right. So our markets are in a very unknown state here, right? They don't know what they want to do. I've gotten asked by a ton of people, well, how do I avoid this? How could I have avoided this? What could I have done? So here's your chart of the S&P 500, right? What it looks like here. And people saying, how could I have gotten short or gotten out of harm's way? And the answer is really, 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 really simple. I'm not kidding you. I'm going to cut this chart off like this on purpose. I want you to look at this chart. What happened here that should have said, I need either to get out of my longs or get short or just go to cash and be careful. Cash is definitely a position, Fonzie. You know I say that all the time. What changed here? Okay. You guys are close, very close. For me, it's even closer to this. Let's start off here. For the month of September, the markets were acting strange, right? They were only buying very select names, but keeping the index up, and they weren't rotating, right? How many times did I say to you guys publicly on Twitter, lack of rotation, same names over and over again? In my service, guys, I think I beat you guys over the freaking head with this, right? Over and over. Very simple. This day right here, on 10-4, we broke the 8 in the 21 day. When you break the 8 in the 21 day, that's a signal to me to get out of Dodge. You could go short if you want to short, or you can just get out of the way. Do you guys see that here very clearly on this day? Right? You're right. Volume was up too. Breakdown on volume. Right? So if you guys are asking yourself what I could have done to get out of the way, put the 8 and the 21 days on your charts, and when you get a close below it, get out of the way. Doesn't mean you have to short. It means move to tactical trading. Are you guys following what I'm saying? Does this make sense to you guys? Okay? I'm not trying to tell you this is perfect. I'm trying to tell you what I look at and what could have done. Right? Here it is. That was this day. Here the next day, we tested the 8-day and 21-day, failed, sold down to the 50-day. Tested the 8-day again, failed, right? This market, which had been holding here, the 8 and the 21-day, since all the way back, right? So here, very simple. From 8:15 till 10:04, we held the 8/21-day, right? You see the SPY here? It stayed above it. We broke it, 2 retests and failed. What is that telling you? What should this be signaling to you? Am I allowed to curse on this? I won't. But, I mean, it should be saying to you, get the what out of Dodge, right? Change of trend. Careful. Something's not right. And I think what I'm trying to say to you guys is I've gotten a ton of private messages from people not in my service asking me what I could have done differently. When you see this the next time, get out. This day, boom, next day, there it is. There it finally comes. And now we're here. So, since this day, what trend is intact since this day? Since 10-4, what trend remains intact? Stan, you're right. It doesn't always follow through, but it's a sign to get yourself to be careful, right? Caution, Stan, right? You're right. It doesn't always, but it's a sign to take notice, clean up, right? Clean your positions up, take notice because the market's signaling something. All right, we have, and that's it, Dale. You hit it. We have not been able to really retake the 8-day since then. Yeah, we got a couple kind of closes right at or above it. Again, remember the 8-day moves fast, so this is this is down below it here now on this pull, but we can't retake it. The market and the 21-day is still way up here. So the market is saying we've had a trend change. You guys are all right. So I'm trying to show you guys how I look at the market. So I'm looking at my indicators, and my indicators are saying we're oversold, we're getting a position for something, and the market is saying to me, it's not ready yet. Dale, we all screw up. You know what? If we were computers and we'd follow this rules, we'd all be great. But we're not. What are we? We are what? And we're not humans. What makes us who we are? We are what? I'm going to do an actual paid webinar on this, I think, in the near future. We are emotional. We hate to be what? You got it, Fonzie. Emotional. What do we hate to be? Wrong, right? I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong. God damn it, I'm not wrong. Yeah, guess what, guys? We're wrong. We're wrong a lot. It's okay to be wrong. As traders, we have to say, it's okay to be wrong. I'm cutting it off. I'm moving on to the next trade. And that's it. I'm done. Nida, keep that in mind. We're going there in a minute. No, I was wrong. Big, yeah. I was wrong on what was it? It was a little biotech today. It had huge call buying. I tried to play it for a pump and I was wrong. But you're always wrong. Okay. So now we have to ask ourselves the next question. And this is kind of where it comes to important. Nida, I think you hit on it. So let's go back to your answer there, which I kind of liked. Will earnings help? We have to now start looking for catalysts. You lost 8 of 12 today. All right. I share this with my subscribers every week, and they know all my trades. And I've been trading almost all common stock for the last most of this week. And I have not had any big wins. I'm just going to tell you that right now. And normally when I trade, my common positions are about 1,000 shares at a time. Oops. And this is my week. I haven't traded a lot, but I've traded and I put money in my pocket every day. I'll go over my service at the end, Richard. I'm not really trying to sell you guys today. I'm really trying more to help you, but thank you. I will tell you about it at the end. All right. And you can see how I've kind of just maneuvered around. And by the way, the one that irks the hell out of me today is Nugget, because I was right. I was right, and I got tired of it, and I chased the candle, and I sold it, and then the big move came. And that one irks me more than anything else. I chased this candle, went immediately down 150 bucks, got positive, went back and forth, sold it for a 2 cents loss, which is 20 bucks, which I'll never cry about. And then it got this. But overall, you guys can see I'm trading light and carefully. I am not trying to make big money. I'm just trying to find a way to put money. Ari is the one I lost 150 bucks in. Put money in my pocket. And that's all I'm doing here, guys. All I'm doing. I'm not trying to hold a lot of positions. And this is not meant to try to talk you anything into it. It's meant to say, find ways to make it work, however it does. We're all wrong. Wives are never wrong, Don. I'm not married anymore. I'll take your word for it, but you're right. My wife was never wrong when I was married. Okay, so back to the SPY, guys. What are some catalysts that can change this? Because this is what we need to look for. Fonzie, China relations, absolutely number one. If we were to announce trade talks or some type of agreement with China, this market would rip and run like an unbelievable monkey, right? We'd probably be back to, we'd be a cheetah, back to new all-time highs within a week or two. Earnings, great call. I want to point something out to you guys. So here's what I have for you guys tonight. This is a calendar of the big earnings names coming up for the next couple weeks. We have a huge earnings week next week. Okay? So today, PayPal was good. American Express was pretty good. Skechers was good. We get some decent companies tomorrow. Let's go to next week. Halliburton and Ameritrade, okay. These are where it starts. Caterpillar, McDonald's, Verizon, AMD, Microsoft, AT&T, Visa, Boeing, right? Amazon, Alphabet, Intel, Twitter. Big, big, big week next week. Okay? Big, big week next week. Okay? If these guys are good. So the one thing I agree about with somebody, I think it was Jim Cramer who said it. God help me, I'm quoting Jim Cramer, but I'm quoting Jim Cramer. Jim Cramer said that, if earnings are good and guidance is strong, the market will reward it. And he's right about that, right? If earnings are good and guidance is strong and the companies aren't worried about interest rates or everything going on, the market will react to it. He's right about that. He's 100% right about that. It's the true nature of what we all do, right? The week after, right? Facebook, eBay, right? Fitbit, who cares? Teva, Apple, there's your big one. Right? You're bringing some great points up here. So all these earnings names, here, Square, Qualcomm, right? The next month will tell the tale of this market from an earnings perspective. Concern in Netflix is that they've reached a peak. I think Netflix is a little bit different of a story. All right, let's take some other things you hear. The election results are absolutely catalyst. That's 2 weeks out yet, 3 weeks out yet. Good point. Somebody brought up the Fed slowing things down. Guys, the Fed is not going to slow things down. I'm here to tell you that barring the world falling apart, the Fed is not going to slow things down here. They are going to keep moving forward at the pace they are, and they're right. They're not wrong here, for what it's worth. We don't know what's, so the Fed's going to keep going. So these are some things, right? These are some things that can change things around. So from the elections, everybody, I think it's accepted right now that the Democrats will win the House and the Republicans will hold the Senate. Put your political bias aside. It doesn't matter what side you're on or what you think. The market will probably be okay with that. Okay? The market would not be okay with the Dems winning the House and the Senate. I'm not sure how the market would feel about the Republicans holding both. Honest answer. I think it would still be okay. Probably like it, but the market doesn't mind gridlock. So, gridlock, I think in the markets it would be okay with. Hey, Denver scored a touchdown on an interception or a fumble. There you go. So keeping you guys up to date on the scores. All right. So my advice to you guys here, and the only thing I can tell you to think about here, is watch the price action, watch the options market. They showed no sign today of wanting to buy this market. Right into the close, you can see there was just nothing. Here's the SPY. Mostly still puts coming in on the SPY all the way to the close, right? This is what you're seeing. This is what my people see every day. I'm not hiding anything. This is as transparent as I can get. Okay? Watch to see how we handle the 200-day tomorrow. If we lose the 200-day, be careful. If we hold it, maybe we hold. So let's bring up some charts, guys. Let's look at some charts you guys want to take a look at here. Maybe that will help us out. I want to bring up a couple that I think could help. Nida, are the institutional investors selling? Great question. I think the institutional investors are long gone for the most part, bud. I think there's some selling going on here, but I think they've sold a ton already. Okay. Stars. I want you guys to look at this chart and look at how it's held up here. This is not a bad looking chart right now. And what's the best thing about Stars, Constellation Brand? What makes them such an intriguing stock here? Greg, CGC maybe, but I wasn't thinking so much about that. I'm thinking more old school brick and mortar. Do people stop drinking because the stock market's bad? Hell no, they drink more. Like you, Noel, yes. Right? So, again, put on your hats here. They don't care. No, they smoke pot. Well, then they got to move to Canada. Then they can smoke all they want. Go Dodgers. God help me, guys. That's one of those nights. So honestly, charts like this to me are intriguing. Okay. Other names here that are intriguing. Right? Somebody brought up Amazon. Let's see if we have anything. Okay. If you liked Amazon down here, so here you go. You're seeing I'm getting all the updates today, some things that have happened on it. Amazon, if you liked it here, do you like it here? You do, but it's going into earnings, so you got to be careful. So tomorrow, next week, playing Amazon here gets really tough, guys. And the reason it gets really tough, give me a sec. I'm moving some things around. Okay. Is here's your options for next week. Who wants to touch a 20-something dollar option out of the money at 60 bucks? I don't. I'm not touching this with a 50-foot pole. I'm not touching this with your money. How's that sound? I'm just not touching this. So for me, this is other than tomorrow. Now tomorrow, if we bounce, I may take a $1,800 call to see if I can get a bounce play on of it or something like that. But Amazon for me until earnings are over is off the table here, guys. I'm not touching this. No offense. All right. Walmart, great question. Let's talk about Walmart. Walmart has announced they're thinking about allowing cannabis sales in all their Canadian stores. It also lowered guidance this week, right? What do you think? Is this chart look constructive or not? Right? To me, this chart is Walmart is one of the tougher names. It likes to go sideways for freaking ever before it goes. Name always gives me fits. I have no position in it here right now, and it's one of the least ones I want to touch, Fonzie, to be honest with you. I'd rather play Costco or Target. Free beer. All right. What else, guys? Let's look at some names. Let's go into some names. Let's look at some non-tech names here. How about Disney? I like what Disney's doing. Does this stock look like it's really hurting here for what's going on? Okay? I like Disney. I like what they have going on. I would be looking at these guys, right? Looking at a company like this. This stock doesn't look like it really cares what the market's doing. This is a big stock. There's no pain in Disney, right? Okay. Square. So Square is the name. I love Square. I love hate Square relationship with Square. If you loved it at 100, you gotta love a 30% discount in a week and a half. Okay? Gotta love it down here. So what happened tonight? What was the catalyst tonight? PayPal earnings. And how were PayPal earnings, guys? They were great. PayPal up nicely here after hours, right? Nice pop. So, if the market is strong tomorrow, and please repeat after me, the market is strong tomorrow, what's a name you can go play? Square. Okay? But you need to have strength in the market. You don't want to be trying to trade counter trend tomorrow in the markets. Okay? So Square is a good one to take a look at. Somebody brought up Micron. Micron was an interesting beast today. Right? First of all, we saw I'm in some Micron calls from back on 2 days ago. Not acting well. Right? Got in on this day. I have till November expiration. I'm big flow. And it's been weak ever since. What was interesting to me about Micron today is it was one of the first names to try to bounce all day long. Every time the market tried to bounce, it and Square and AMD were among the first names to try to bounce, which is interesting to me. That said, it came into this wall of resistance and just could not get through, right? Every time. On a daily chart, it's acting horrific. You got a massive downtrend into this area of support. It's got to hold here to stay in the game at this point. And it just doesn't seem to have any catalyst at this point. Oh, you want to talk? Let's go to KSS first. Somebody asked me about Kohl's. There was some call buying in Kohl's. I think it was it yesterday or the day before? Yesterday. 2 days ago. Right? You can see you can see me pointing it out here. There they are. It's not acting special, guys. It's holding where it needs to hold here. Can't get above the 21-day. Not acting special here. It's probably waiting on earnings. Retailers have been weak. Exactly right. Sees. She woke up the other day. Right? Nice little wake-up candle here, but gave most of it back here. Holding in well. This is another one that probably doesn't care too much about the economy, guys, right? Really just doesn't. Okay? You can play this as a separate entity. Other names that really don't care half the time, Ulta, right? Another name that doesn't overly care what's going on, kind of doing its own thing here, just not acting special right now. Okay? A name you can look at. What else? What's some names that has some decent flow? SGMS has seen some flow. They keep buying this name all the way down. Looks horrible. At some point, this and all the other gaming stocks going to turn, but it's not here. Where's your resistance at right now? Where's your resistance? Right? What can it do? The 21-day. Since it lost it here, all the way back in June, every touch of the 21-day has been a sell. They have sold it every time. Just keeps going down. All right? Nothing there. You want a buyout special? Buy Caesar. SGMS has massive volume. I mean, I have not seen that much dollars thrown at a stock as I've seen at this one in the last 6 months as they've thrown at that name, and it doesn't work. Here's your buyout play, Caesars. They've been coming after this thing forever. It finally got the news and it's starting to go. Sorry, guys, my voice is starting to give. Okay. Caesars. Keep an eye on this one. See how it reacts. No, I don't need Patron. I'm swearing off of that. A couple other names let's talk about. Let's go to some of the ones I know. Let's talk Netflix real quick. So, this is not what you ever want to see after earnings, right? Gap and crap on earnings. We have now filled the gap here on Netflix, all the way back. Does anybody understand why it's selling? I like Ashburn, Nida, but I'll call it Cashburn. I'm in a good mood tonight. We're going to have fun. All right? It's it's selling because analysts have deep concerns over their ability to sustain continue to grow their subscribers and their cash burn rate as they keep putting out new content. All right? And they have competition coming. There you go, Harun. Thank you very much. Well done. Who's going to be the biggest competitor to them in the very near future? Disney. Why Disney? Gordon, Greg, why Disney? You're absolutely right. Why? Hulu. You got it. If you guys aren't paying attention to me for the last couple months, Disney now owns 60% of Hulu, and it's very likely they will own 100% of it before the end of the next 5 to 6 months. And that will make Hulu Disney's big competition to Netflix, and they already announced they're pulling their content off Netflix at the end of next year. Amazon as well. Amazon is trying to ramp up their streaming service, right? Wasn't it about 4 months ago they paid $250 million just for the rights to produce a Lord of the Rings show, not even for the production, just for the rights to it, right? So Amazon is out there as well trying to do that stuff. Snap's trying to get into it, so is Twitter. So there's competition coming for Netflix. And what can Netflix never get into? What market will they never get into? No, not kids market. They're in the kids market. Noel's got it. Who else? China. China will not let Netflix in. If you want to play streaming services in China, what company do you buy? IQ. You got it. There you go. IQ, as far as China names, is holding in better than the rest, guys. If there's one China name that you want to look at and keep an eye on, if we really go, it's IQ. Let's talk the Beast. You know the Beast? Baba. We'll come to Tesla in a minute. All right, we'll do Baba and then Tesla. Baba got some massive call buying yesterday. Look at some of this. Look at that. You see this here? 8,000 December 170 calls. That is not a little bet. Right? Is that a little bet? Yep. Not a little bet at all. Again, right now for me, these names are untouchable, but you have to get this stuff, excuse me, in the back of your mind. If the market starts to go, you need to go and find this. If they any really good talks of a sit down or something, these names are going to rocket because they are so oversold here. Keep those bets in mind. So right now you have these on your screen, right? Write them down. Put them in a spreadsheet. Put them somewhere. I'm giving these guys to you for free. Put these down there. These are big bets. These came in on the ask. I point out the stuff that is good, not the stuff that we're unsure of. You can add Baidu to it. Pick your name. This is where the call buying was, Haren. Baidu doesn't pick up a lot of call buying for what it's worth. When it does, it stands out like a sore thumb. All right, last one. You guys want to talk about Tesla. Guys, there is so much noise that continues around this stock. Yeah, Fonzie today, right. The bets today were protection, but they were small. They weren't massive, and most of them were short-term into earnings. They weren't big. Again, I try to also keep earnings flow out. So if you're looking at Tesla here, I've seen calls and put buying all over the place on this name. I have not been playing it lately. I think I've played it once since the Elon Musk 420 tweet. It trades very volatile, right? It either goes up big or down big, but it's very little rhyme or reason, and there's too much noise. It has to hold 249 or it's in a lot of trouble, right? You have this low here and here, right? 250, whatever, 249, pick your number. It has to hold here or it's game over for this. Really is. Earnings will be huge, but I mean, it's come in so much. Obviously, they have huge cash burn issues. I think you guys are better playing something safer than something like this. I'd rather play other names. Any name that moves on rumors and tweets nonstop is very, very dangerous. All right, guys, I hope this helped you guys today. If you're interested in what I do, stop by and visit me at smartoptiontrading.com. I will send this to all of you. You come in. I do mentoring and teaching. If you're interested, click here. If you're interested in my daily stuff, what I do every day, guys, is I do a morning setups video. I'm live in a chat room with you guys for about 3 hours a day. I do a daily recap video. Mornings you get all the you get throughout the day on private Twitter feed all the option flow upgrades and news as I see it. I go over open interest with you guys every morning, and every Thursday night we do a subscriber only webinar. If you click on here, you get all this. It's $25 for the first month, cancel any times, $100 a month after that. I think it's the best deal out there. I love what I do. I'm very interactive. You guys will be chatting with me all day long, either in the chat room or on private Twitter. Love to have you guys check me out. And if not, guys, I hope you get great value out of everything I did today. Fonzie, feel free to reach me out to me anytime. I know who you are. Just hit me up on DM on Twitter. I hope you got value out of this today. I hope conversations like this help in times like this. More than anything else, to me, if I can help you in a time like this, it means more to me than you guys signing up for my service. I do this every day. I'll do it whether you guys are with me or not. But I'd love, if you want to join me, give me a sign up. Be careful, play smaller, pick your spots. And the best advice I can give you right now is make a big shopping list of what you want to buy when you think you have a clear signal. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to go rest my voice and watch a little bit of football, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks again, guys.